Good evening, everyone, and good evening, our guest speaker, Mr. Benjamin Mayo.
Good evening, sir. How's the family, sir?
Very well. We thank you for your time and you're welcome to the Town Hall discussion series platform.
You're welcome, sir.
Please, I just want to appeal that we allow for a few minutes for others to join us and for the anchorman to join us. He's trying to join us now. So maybe in another 3 minutes we'll take off. Thank you for coming.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Brown, you're welcome. The anchorman just joined us now. Mr. Brown, can you hear me?
Send me his volume.
Hello, Mr. Brown, can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, Mr. Elvis Brown. You're welcome. We've been hanging on for you to come in. I think we can start right away. Can we start right away, Mr. Brown? Hello, Mr. Brown, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Brown. Hello, Brown, can you hear me? Hello, Brown, can you hear me? Please let's just exercise some patience for Mr. Brown to get himself sorted out. Can you hear me now, Brown? Hello, Brown. Hello, Brown.
Trying to.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me now, Brown? Hello, Brown, can you hear me?
trying to work on the volume because I can't hear.
I think I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I don't know what's happening.
Hello, Brown.
Hello, Brown. Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
Okay, I was actually trying to, get the volume up. I'm hearing you very faintly. I don't know if the same way I'm hearing you is how I'm being heard also.
No, I'm hearing you very loud and clear.
Okay,
Crystal
sir.
clear, actually.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So can we go on with the program?
Yes, I will come.
Okay, good. Good evening, everyone. I once again welcome everyone to this maiden edition governorship election and the obedient movement virtual town hall discussion series. We are going to be having this series as we go into the governorship election in Edo State. This is the series 1, and we're going to be having it on a weekly basis. I want to, at this point, apologize for one of our participants, who is Professor Patrick Igbunadowa. He will be unavoidably absent in this series due to some unforeseen emergency. So I sincerely thank everyone present here, and I want to once again welcome you to the program. So at this point, I will leave it to the anchorman who will continue from here. Mr. Elvis Blanc, please. Elvis Brown, can you hear me? I think Elvis Brown still seems to be having some challenges from his end.
Okay, just information, Mr. Boinfo. I think this program can also let everyone know that this program is also being aired live on YouTube, DDM channel. Thank you.
I didn't get that, Kevin.
Yeah, this I'm just informing you that this program is already being aired live on DDM channel on YouTube.
Okay,
I shared the YouTube link on the chat group just
Okay,
now. I will
thanks a
share
lot.
it again.
Okay, thanks a lot for that information. I think Brown has been thrown out. We'll just hold on while he's trying to get back in.
Yeah, hello, Kevin, are you there? Hello, have we started?
Yes, sir, we are about starting.
Is
But
Kevin,
the
is Kevin there?
network, we're just waiting to come in.
Okay, is Kevin there? Do you know how to do the live streaming?
No,
It's already
Kevin is
been
handling
streamed.
that.
It's already been streamed live, sir. I've shared it already.
How can you be streaming live now if you have not started?
Come in, sir.
How can you be live streaming if we have not started?
The anchorman was thrown out.
We had almost started before it was thrown out just now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just take the time. I realized the time is well past and I rushed to go comments. So, okay, if you are live streaming, that's fine. I just want to confirm that everything is fine because the important thing is to be live stream. That is, we do the live stream, we now scatter the YouTube video across other platforms. That's the idea. Not necessarily how many people join on Zoom. That one doesn't really, except for those who have a role to play. For those who want to make a comment.
No, that's fine, sir.
So what's the solution now that, but we have Benjamin here, isn't it?
I think he just joined us back now. Mr. Elvis, can you hear me? Elvis, can you hear me?
Mr. Benjamin Mayor is here.
Yes, Mr. Benjamin Mayor has been here with us from the beginning. Elvis, can you hear me?
Mr. Benjamin Mayor is here.
Mr. Daniel, good evening, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my brother, good evening. So what I'm saying is, that's why we have two guests. If one person drops, the other guest will continue.
Daniel, good evening, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my brother, good evening. So what I'm saying.
Okay, Elvis, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I apologize for the issues I've had in joining the meeting. So sorry. I had to change phone because I seem to be having network issues on the other phone.
It's okay. It's okay. It's the first series. I'm sure it's a learning curve for us. So please, let's go on with the program.
All right. Thank you very much.
I've already done the introduction. And one aspect that you missed while you were off is that to inform you that the program is being streamed live on YouTube right now. And that's it. So you can from there, Mr. Elvis. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. I don't know. My name is Elvis Brown. I'm delighted to be on this program tonight. Also, I want to appreciate the guest, Mr. Benjamin Mayor. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on live this evening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me, sir.
I also want to appreciate the organizers of this program, my leaders, the state coordinator for COBDEM, before Joe, and the deputy state coordinator, Mr. Igbe. Thank you all so much for this opportunity. Mr. Mayor, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Nice to see you again, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm great. I'm doing great.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, we have a series of questions. There are times I look at the questions also. I would, appreciate if we can, just go straight to dealing with these questions, and then so that we can actually be able to do a lot. You understand? Yeah, I'm not dwelling so much on each of the questions, but we appreciate that you're able to actually do just to each of the questions, and then we'll move to the next one as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. So looking at the obedient movement, the obedient movement, what it was during the presidential election or electionary campaign for presidential election, and what it is now. Basically, that's what we're looking at. So, would you say that the steam that we had in during that OB election is the same as what we have today?
Yeah, thank you for having me. Let me first of all commend every members of DDM for their wonderful job that you guys are doing over there. I see your beautiful videos, the update, the current affairs regarding the situation in the countries and all that. I actually want to thank everybody and the chairman of COPDEM, Mr. Junior Rampam, who have also been doing a very wonderful job professionally. I want to say thank you to you, and Mr. Brown too. You are doing perfectly well. It's a very good question. If the stem of obedience still remains the same the way it used to be during the presidential election, the question is a very direct one, and I believe I will also, if you permit me, I will also give a direct answer to it. The obedient movement was like a seasonal thing, and that is something that came up like an emergency, and a lot of people trunk into it, and they became a member of the movement. I don't forget, I wouldn't want to use the word that the stem is reduced, but I want you to know that everything has its own season. And the obedient movement was created during an election season. So that's the reason why the euphoria of that movement that time, still is still very fresh in people's it's very fresh in our memory, and people are thinking they don't used to see what they see before during the presidential time, and they think the stem is reducing. The stem is not reducing. Obedience is not just an individual, it's a group of well-meaning Nigerians who want the development of the country and also want a new Nigeria. So, and if you see those people who were in the front line then, who were running this movement, you can see them, they still move around the country. And the man who created the movement, His Excellency Peter Obi, you can see him, he still move from one corner of the country to another corner of the country. So that's what matters. If he has gone to another country to rest, or maybe eloped, or rather take a break from the political scene, that's only when we can use the word that the stem of the obedience is reducing. In my own opinion, in summary, obedience is intact and the stem is keep growing every day.
Thank you very much. So you are saying that even though it's seasonal, the steam remains.
It remains the same. You know, you can only judge a thing if the head is done functioning. For example, I don't want to use the Nigerian situation in general at the moment. I want you to look at Peter Obi is the head of the obedient movement. The obedient movement was coined from his name. You understand? So wherever Peter Obi goes, the only thing you see is around him is love and affection. People show him that love. We call him our president and all that, because we know he won the election, and that is it. And secondly, if he has gone out of the political space since May 29, after the swearing in or after the court processes and all that, and you no longer see him just like every other candidate. Some have gone to Dubai, some have, you don't even hear most of the other people's name anymore. But Peter Obi is insane. He's even acting more as if he's the president of the country, visiting the less privileges, going to where people need his attentions and all that, visiting Muslims and every part of the country who is that is being ravaged by by insecurity in the country and all that. You see, that is what matters. As long as the head is working, if the body is not dancing well closed, dancing or moving according to what the head is doing, it doesn't matter. But the most important thing that Peter Obi is in the scene and is doing perfectly well, and is even doing more than what he has done during the campaign.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that. So would you say we'll still, be able to make the impact we made during that election. Now, we're not talking about general elections right now. We now have staggered elections that are taking place right now. This year is going to be in Edo State.
Yes, exactly.
The obedience in Edo State can make the same impact that was made during that election in Edo State.
It's a very good question. You know, if you are acquainted with politics, you know that the presidential election is always different from state election. So the presidential election, we have three major options, and people have kind of a little bit sentimental, and they know what they want. And that's the reason why we all voted for Peter Obi across the country, across political parties. So in a Edo State election, the movement of Obi, or the Peter Obi movement, which is the obedient, the effect will not, the impact will not be so strong as it were during the presidential election. And I will explain. Because Edo State is a PDP governed state. And we have other political parties who are also running for the same position in Edo State. So you wouldn't be expecting a rousing welcome for any candidate coming from different political parties who have identified with the obedient movement, just like the way we saw it coming, or rather what we experienced during Peter Obi visiting Edo State, visiting other states. That's the reason why I said the presidential election is totally different from state election. So the feelings and the body language and the pulse of the people is not the same when it comes to presidential election. What we are going to be having in Edo State in September 21st is going to be governorship election. And that governorship election, people have already spoken. And if you go to the street, you see the pulse of the people and they know what they want. And for me to round up with it, don't forget, Peter Obi will not be on the ballot in Edo State election. So you will not be expecting that rousing welcome for any candidate that is coming from the political party where Peter Obi is at the moment.
Now I get that clearly. But if you were contesting this election, you are an aspirant under the Labour Party.
I was.
If you were contesting it, if you were the candidate, would you be banking on the obedient movement?
Not at all. I will not be banking on the obedient movement, because obedient is not a member of Labour Party. Obedient is a movement, and the movement is not, they are not breathing on the Labour Party's existence. In other words, obedient is cut across in every other political party. During the presidential election, we have states that is being governed by PDP, by APC, and other political party, I guess. And Peter Obi won in those states with a landslide. For example, Edo State is being called the obedient headquarters. And the reason why it's being called the obedient headquarters is because we have demonstrated that love, that genuine love, that organic love for Peter Obi. So if I was the candidate of the Labour Party, as a politician that I am, I will not be banking on the obedient movement, because the obedient movement and the members of the obedient are not members of Labour Party. So that is the reason why I told you what we are going to be experiencing in Edo State, or what we experience in Imo and other states is totally different. You understand? And don't forget, there are some persons that think, oh, Peter Obi is there in the party, Labour Party, and once, because they will be able to find their way to get it, or maybe maneuver their way to get the party ticket, at the end of the day, they will use that Peter Obi wave to get to the position where they want to be. But that will not be playing out in Edo State. What is going to be playing out in Edo State, if you allow me to explain, is this. People are going to be looking at competence. People are going to be looking at character. People are going to be looking at compaction and capacity. At the same time, coupled with equity, fairness, and justice. These are the major categories that the Edo people are looking at. So when somebody tells you, I want to win the election because I have the obedient beside me, that will not be working this time. And don't forget, if you go to online right now, if you take a survey, if you take an online survey, you find out that most people who are still clamoring and clapping for Labour Party, you can see that most of them are not even from Edo State. And they don't have a voting right. They don't have a voting bloc. Most of them are from the West. Most of them are from the North. Most of them are from the East and from the South too, but they are not from Edo. That means they will not be voting, taking part in the electionary process in Edo State. That's the reason why if I was a candidate for the Labour Party, I wouldn't have been banking on the obedient, but I would have solicited for their help, especially when it comes to online publication, which is the PROs and all that, and the social media and stuff. I would have been able to do that because there, I know I will have a couple of friends who said, okay, they believe in, but I wouldn't have also expected them, all of them, 100% of them to have actually supported me. Even when I was an aspirant, there's a lot of them who reach out to me to say, okay, because of business interest and all that, I should be able to stay like this. But don't forget, we are with you in person and in spirit. So that's the reason why I wouldn't have banked on the obedient movement to get to Satebe Avenue.
Thank you very much. Now, that would mean that you believe so much that the obedient movement is not what it used to be. Now we're back to the first question again. And because of the nature of the Edo election, you said. And so, yeah. And so now, if it were to be effective at all, in whose favor do you think it will be? Will it be in the favor of a political party or the candidacy of an individual? Would they be looking at the character of candidates or a political party if it were to have an impact in this election?
Edo State is one of the most electorally educated states in Nigeria when it comes to voting and all that. We do not vote based on sentiment. We do not vote based on political parties. In Edo State, it has been like that since 1999. We vote based on competence, character, compassion, coupled with fairness, equity, and justice. That is how we have been voting since 1999, except otherwise. See, the stem is not dying down. The obedience stem is not dying down, and the spirit is still very much alive. I will continue to say this. You are not the first person that posed this question to me. But this is a governorship election that has to do with one particular state. You know, they used to say in my village, they said, when you add one rice to another and you pour water on it, then it starts expanding. That is how rice rises. You understand? When you start cooking it. So the some of us who are obedient in Edo State, we have already pinched our tent. We already know what we want. You understand? If we are even talking about the obedient in Edo State, the member, a candidate that is contesting from the Labour Party is not, he wasn't an obedient. He was not an obedient. He was never an obedient. He does not have an evidence to show for that. I was part and parcel of the people who deliver Edo State for Peter Obi. And I can say that anywhere, anytime, any day, because the evidence is there. I wasn't just campaigning online. I campaigned with my own personal resources because I want a new Nigeria. And that is what I see stand up. Peter Obi is my principal, and that loyalty I cannot take away from him. So the particular candidate that emerged from Labour Party at the moment, he was never an obedient. That is one. And even the only candidate I can tell you, that I can categorically tell you that I know personally that was an obedient, the entire family was an obedient, is Dr. Aso Ighodalo. Dr. Aso Ighodalo of the PDP was an obedient, and the younger brother who is a pastor, Pastor Itwa Ighodalo, was also an obedient. So these are the people we can even say they are members of the obedient family, but they are not banking on the obedient family to win the Edo State election. So that is where the issue comes in. If and how. It's only a lazy politician that will say, I am banking on a group to win an election. That is why I tell you, it has to do with a candidate who has the capacity, competency, everything has to come together. You have to tick all these boxes because the situation of the country is also going to be playing a very major role in determining who is going to become the next governor of Edo State. So all those ones is going to come later. I believe These are going to be part of your questions and all that. But let me leave it that way for now.
Thank you very much. Now, from what you just said, you did mention a particular candidate as being obedient. Are you saying that every person that was obedient has the obedient character? You know what we're looking out for in candidates? We've been disappointed so much talking about the obedient movement. Most of the persons we've elected have disappointed us. In other words, they've proven not to be obedient. So you're saying that a particular candidate is obedient. Now, the question is, being an obedient, does it make you vote worthy? Does it make you someone that we can actually elect into office just because you're part of the obedient? Or are we looking at people who actually have these characters that we are looking out for? Talking about that, basically the obedient ideology is what I want us to look at right now.
Yeah, dear Mr. Brown, the obedient, I wouldn't want to say we made a mistake in the last election. Like I said, and I will continue to say, the only persons I know in the obedient movement that is a leader is Peter Obi and some other persons. Somebody like Valentine Ozibo, Mr. Opasi Oseloka, Professor Patutum, and the host of others, Aisha Yusuf, so many of them, you understand, that I can tell you, these are the people I can wake up in the morning and vouch for them. I can swear they didn't do anything, or they will do this and they will not do that. You understand what I mean? But I don't say I'm trusting them 100%, but I can tell you, these are the people that I can stand for without hearing from them. I know this is what they can do and this is what they cannot do. For that instance, a lot of people rode on the obedient wave, on Peter Obi wave, to become elected in the political office, especially the House of Rep members, the senators, and the only governor that is performing in Nigeria today is from the obedient movement, which is Dr. Alex Oti. Dr. Alex Oti of the Abia State is changing the narrative. So you can say we have the most competent one who contested under Labour Party using the obedient to get to office, and we also have the ones that are not competent, who hold on the bargain, who hold on Peter Obi to get a political office, and at the end of the day, they switch. They have secretly joined APC because you are not hearing them. You don't hear them speak in the House. You don't hear them push any law. You don't hear them even say, I am against what you are saying. They are not even contributing. In my own opinion, I can say categorically they are directly and indirectly switch carpet. So, but if you look at the direction of Alex Oti, Dr. Alex Oti is working. Everybody can see it. He doesn't need any medium to push him to say, okay, push what I am doing. People can see it. People can feel it. The people of Abia State can feel it. Yesterday, the former president of the country, Dr. Olusegun Obasanjo, drove down to Abia State just to give a handshake to the governor of Abia State. So you cannot use a governor of Abia State now to compel a House of Rep who came from Enugu, from Abia State, from Edo State, and all that. Not even the senators, because you cannot even hear them. You can't hear them speaking anything. Most of them collected these SUVs that was given while Nigeria is wallowing away in poverty and in hardship. They are not saying it. They are not saying anything against it. So when you look at this situation, you wouldn't just say because you are obedient that everybody should vote. That is the reason why I said with the obedient, we did not look that time. We're just voting from top to bottom. That was our slogan, because we just wanted to change the narrative. Let Labour Party comes in. You understand? Not knowing that the people who are coming from Labour Party that we did not even know. Most people were voted into court who were farmers. We don't even know them. They were just coming from another political party, get Labour Party ticket, and we're just voting from top to bottom. And now they're in the House. They are disappointing every obedient member who has voted them into power. That will not be repeating itself in Edo State. That will not, I want to say this, and you can take it to the bank and you cash out. That will not be happening in Edo State. Edo State, we have a way of voting. We have our patterns of voting. And if you go to the street to do your survey, you will find out that the market women, the youth, who are the major determinant in the voting system and all that, of voting people into the office, you will find out that they already made up their choice, which you cannot change. That is the pulse of the people. They are saying they are looking for somebody who is closer to them, somebody that they know, somebody that they are seeing daily, somebody they can have access to, somebody who is competent, who has that character, who has that compassion, who has that capacity, who is coming from a region that is more favored. Let me not use the word like the word they normally say, Milokon or whatever they say, but this has to do with fairness, equity, and justice. You understand? Since 1999, a particular region have not had the opportunity of becoming the governor of the state. And the state is divided into 2 regions. We have the Edo South, we have the Edo North, and we have the Edo Central. So now the candidate that I mentioned earlier, Dr. Aso Ighodalo, tick all these boxes. Tick all these boxes. Is he an obedient? Yes, he's an obedient. His younger brother, a pastor, Ito Ighodalo, is he an obedient? Yes, he's a senior member of the obedient movement. People don't know because he doesn't come online to scream, because he doesn't come online to shout.
Now,
they think he's like that.
Sorry, sir. You're telling us now that they are obedient. Yeah. Now we're hearing that from you. Now, before we proceed into that, I want to ask you a question along this line of discussion. All right. Now, don't you think that political party is also part of the obedient ideology? That political parties matter. If, for instance, you're looking at how the obedient movement came together, it wasn't, we could have actually moved from one party to another. Like, as it were, we followed an individual to Labour Party.
Exactly.
And because we believe that if the guy was actually in PDP, if PDP had given Peter Obi ticket, we would have stayed with him in PDP. Because it was about him and not about the party at this time. But right now, don't you think that political party matters? Do you think that if somebody emerges from APC and says he's obedient, that the obedient movement will go with him to the APC? Do you think so?
Mr. Brown, you want to tell me that Dr. Alex Otti is working because he's from Labour Party? He's not working because he's from Labour Party. He's working because he's competent, because he has the character, because he has the compassion towards his people. That's one. When I say Edo State is the headquarters of obedient, we have a reason for it. And don't forget, the name called obedient was actually broadcasted from Edo State. And let me refresh your memory. Do you remember when the governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki, in a live broadcast on TV and said, even in his own house, everybody say he's an obedient. It's only him that is that he doesn't even know what to say anymore. I want you to remember that word. So, which PRO do you need? Do you need any other PRO? So, it is not just about party. Party will have a role to play, but tell me, the Labour Party of today and the power talk show and the allegation of misappropriation of funds that is currently ravaging the entire party, do you look at that party like a party that wants to win an election? Do you look at that party that wants to unite and win an election? Okay, no, you talk as if you no longer, you forget history so fast. Bayelsa election is just being concluded. You remember what plays out in Bayelsa, where the Labour Party state chairman or state ESCO executive sold out their party candidate 2 days before the election. I am not the one saying this. You heard it from the candidate himself. They collected 100 million and they have not been able to come out today and counter it. The candidate came out and said that. So you are not hearing that from me. This is not an allegation. For me, is what I heard. I'm trying to refresh your mind into. So does that party look like a party that wants to win an election? I am saying this. I'm telling you. If Peter Obi, even when Peter Obi decided to relocate down to Edo and campaign for the Labour Party candidate, he will not win. Mark my word. He will not win. You know the reason why he will not win?
You sound very, very positive. But honestly, I wouldn't want us to dwell on that.
Okay.
Because
I understand.
Yeah, because we can't say for sure, the dynamics of the campaigns, reconciliation, and all that. But I would like us to focus on the obedient movement as it were. All right. Now, a lot of people believe, actually, even within the Labour Party, that the movement has actually lost its focus. These are the things we hear on a daily basis. All right. But as we speak, there's been the movement, there's been an attempt, series of attempts to come together and consolidate. Those attempts are currently ongoing. I may not be able to give you details, but we know of several of such attempts. And we also know that there are some parts of the movement also that are saying, no, we're not going to join in this consolidation. And so most people believe that they have lost focus because of these issues that I just brought up to you now.
Mr. Brown, let us not waste the time over on this obedient thing. Let me say this, and it's going to be like a wrap up on it. Obedient movement has not lost its focus. Like I said from the beginning, if Peter Obi has gone out of the political scene after the election, after the court processes, everything, after the appeal court and all those judgments, you no longer see him, just like the way you are not seeing article on the political scene today. That is only when you will say the movement has lost its focus. I am an obedient. I am talking to you today. I want to remind you, I am a full member of COPDEM. COPDEM is an organization that have brought all different groups, support group, that supported Peter Obi in the last election together. And COPDEM have been able to do that. And the president of COPDEM is around the 36 states of Nigeria. So if you place any call across any member of COPDEM and said, this message is coming from in line with what Peter Obi want to do, in line with what will bet a new Nigeria, there is no way these people will not come up, because they have an ideology. That is the ideology of the obedient movement. Obedient movement does not belong to anybody. People can come in today and go tomorrow. They can decide to come back. Don't forget, politics is a game of numbers. Politics is a game of numbers. So if they decide to go out today and come back, they will definitely be accepted. And I would like to round up with this again. In a EDO election, during the presidential election, I can tell you, if you go to the portal, if you go to the Labour Party website, if it's still functioning, according to the statistics, Labour Party has not less than 20,000 registered members during the presidential election. But I can tell you that I am from EDO State. I can tell you that Labour Party does not have up to 3,000 registered members, active registered members, apart from the escorts that have hijacked the parties. Now they are planning a secret convention, and they don't want the obedient people to attend. So you cannot call the people you said they are not members of the party to attend your convention as your members. Peter Obi got how many votes? Almost 500,000 votes from EDO State. So where is that vote coming from? That vote came from PDP members. That vote came from APC members from EDO State. Because the obedient movement in EDO State was formed in a way that we just want to have a new Nigeria. Through Peter Obi. APC was not an option. PDP was not an option. So that's the reason why Peter Obi won EDO State with a very, very big landslide. So it is not a matter of where you are, or if the stem is dying, or if it is like that or not. Labour Party president in EDO State as of today, I can tell you, if you are banking on it, it's something that you're just wasting your time, because they are not even settled. They don't even know themselves. So I am telling you this, that the Labour Party in EDO State and the obedient movement in EDO State is cut across the three major parties and other smaller party platform in EDO State. And the major block vote that Peter Obi received from EDO State was coming from PDP. I am from PDP. I came to Labour Party with Peter Obi because I know, because we all fought for it, that they should give him the ticket. PDP refused. But Some of us who have already had our base from PDP say, no, we trust our Oga, then we'll move our tent down to Labour Party because that is where he is. But as long as he's not contesting the election today, Peter Obi did not give us any obedient member a manual of life to say, I am in Labour Party, I am giving you the manual of Labour Party to continue to live your life. No, Peter Obi did not do that. And Peter Obi, I will always continue to say, until Nigerians continue to vote for somebody that is competent, until Nigerians continue to vote for somebody that has that compassion, character, coupled with equity, fairness, and justice, democracy will not be sustained in Nigeria. And that's what we're doing. Me, as an educated person, you will not expect me to go and vote for somebody who has D in his or her head because you want to become a governor of the state. It's not going to be possible. I would rather vote where my conscience allows me to vote, where I will be able to face my family member and face my people, the good people of Edo State, and say, this is equity, fairness, and justice. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. That is where I stay. I am not a political jobber. Just like every other person will move from here and there. If you present Peter Obi today and present other two candidates that are better than him, that you think that are better than him, me, I will be the first person that will stand behind Peter Obi. You know why? Because seeing is believing. I've seen what he has done, and I've seen what he's still doing. So that is to tell you that it's not just all about this and that, this and that. As I said before, Labour Party is not winning the Edo State election. Take that home and ponder on it.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Now, we're actually dwelling on the obedient movement, so you'll pardon me if I keep asking my questions along that line. Yeah.
No problem,
now, I think Edo State is called the headquarters of the obedient movement for a reason. For a reason. Now, are you saying that you have said in the course of this discussion that it's not going to actually have much impact on the election? I say if you were candidate, you won't bank on it that much. Now, This state is called the headquarters of the obedient movement for a reason. Should a candidate be able to bring the obedience together for his election? Any candidate at all from any of the political parties, should he be able to bring them together, harness that movement for the election? Do you think that such candidate is going to have a lead in this election? Any candidate at all from any of the political parties who is able to bring them together for himself?
Obedient are educated people. Obedient members are very, very educated, and we are very acclimatized with the political situation in every state, especially that of Edo State. As it is right now, I will be able to tell you we have three major political parties. Let me say two major political parties because Labour Party is not part of them. PDP and APC. And if you put the two candidates together in a screen, on a TV screen or wherever you want to put it, on a scale, you want to scale them. You want to present their files or their profile, their educational profile, their CV. You begin to weigh. You as an educated person who want to promote the image of education, who want to tell your children there is a reason to be educated and there is profit in being educated, I believe you already know who to choose. Somebody who has a good character, somebody who has that good pedigree, somebody who have managed not less than 4,000 persons in a firm, somebody who have opened a company and the company is booming. Like, you begin to ask yourself, how did you do it? And this person have never been involved in anything like corruption, funds mismanagement, or funds embezzlement, and the rest of it. He has never forged any certificate. And moreover, he's not even coming out from a political party where you have to be a criminal before you can get any political position, or you must have or to have something like that. But that one is a discussion for another day. I am telling you, it's not just somebody coming out from any party to bring the obedient people together. Like I said, there are members of the obedient movement that are situated in PDP. There are members of the obedient movement that are situated in APC that I know with my two eyes, that I've had contact with, that have supported the obedient movement in Edo State during the presidential election. I know that. You saw the rally of the APC rally in Edo State during the presidential election. You saw the
Mr.
PDP.
Mayor, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
You're ruling out a political party that has member in the House of Assembly, House of Representatives, and the Senate. You're ruling out that part from this election. You're saying there are two major political parties and Labour Party is not one of them. What are your why are you so confused? I need to get your facts. Where is that coming from?
Politics is deep, my dear brother. Politics is deep. If you haven't heard that from me, you haven't heard that from me, I want to hear that from me today. Politics is a very deep game. And if you don't know how to play it, you will just be swimming on top like a leaf, like a dry leaf that is swimming on top of the water. When you look deeply, those people that you just mentioned, their House of Rep, their House of Senate, and the rest of them House of Assembly, where were they 3 years ago? Where did they get their base from? Who sponsored them? That is why I told you politics is deep. You are not in Edo State. You are not on ground in Edo State. I live in Edo State. I am from Edo State. Anything that happened in Edo State, before it gets to you in the media station, I already have it. As I'm talking to you right now, my phone is booming. My phone is pimping all the time. I know what is happening in Edo State. Report is coming day and night. During the election, you will see the kind of politics that will be going on. Nobody wants to stay on the losing side. Nobody want to be called a loser. There are people who want to retain their seat. They already know where the pendulum is swinging. You cannot bring somebody, like Peter Obi will always say, you cannot come from the window and start cleaning the house. It's not possible. You have to come through door. And he also said, if you want to be called an excellency, the process and manner which you get to way that you want to become an excellency must be excellent. You understand? So we have all those things that be laying down. Like I said, it's only a newbie, a newborn baby in the politics that will be able to tell you, because a political party have 10 House of Rep members, 2 Senate and all that they are banking on them to win an election. How many geopolitical zones do we have in Nigeria? How many political senatorial districts do we have in Nigeria, in Edo State? So when you begin to look at those, you begin to do your mathematics, begin to do your statistics, you will now find out that even those senators that you are talking about, who hold on Peter Obi wave to get the House of Assembly and National Assembly, you will not be able to bank on them because they are coming from somewhere. They are loyal to somebody. That is politics. Politics is a game of interest and a game of numbers.
Mr. Mayor, I just, a lot of persons are also, asking questions through me.
I'm here. Yeah.
People want to know, are you still with the Labour Party? Because
it's like you guys don't get it. On the 25th of November, I resigned from Labour Party. Some people ask me, why did I resign? Some people that are very closer to me know the reason why I left Labour Party. You see this problem that is happening. You see this fight that is happening in Labour Party today. Till this very moment I'm talking to, these secret conventions and all those things. I've seen it. I saw it 6 months ago. How this party is going to crumble, how this party is going to end. The only thing that is holding Labour Party together is Peter Obi. Peter Obi is the life wire of that Labour Party. If Peter Obi and Mr. Valentin Alosigbo and Professor Patutum, Dr. Osela Kaubazi and the rest of other hosts, Dr. Alex Oti, decide to pull out of Labour Party today, Labour Party will go into evolution. It's like a money dues. Like a money due, 9, 6, 7, 9, 8, 9, 10, you see that the due starts evaporating. That is how Labour Party is at the moment. If they're not been able to bring themselves together, I left Labour Party because they were not given that chance to the obedient movement. So somebody asked me, were you thinking that you're going to even win the ticket before? I said, everything is possible. The person told me, you don't even have the chance of winning the ticket. Why are you even bothering of wasting your money and all that? I said, you think I'm wasting my money? He said, yes. I said, I'm not wasting my money. I have made a move for your children or for the younger generation to know that the younger ones like me, the youth like me, we also have the aspiration to aspire for any political position. So it's not just because it's not constitutionally meant for those who are above 50 and 60, who have gone to the position or I was once a commissioner, I was once a House of Rep member. No, anybody, as long as you are a citizen of a state or any country, you have a right to contest for any political office. So I was bullied that when I asked them to go for a convention before doing Edo State election, because I know what was going on. Because the corruption that happened during the presidential election is something that even has to come to the limelight. We are watching. But the people that we look up to who are still in Labour Party, they have no move. That is the reason why most people are still staying there. I left Labour Party on the 25th of November. I repeat that here again. I want to reiterate that. I left Labour Party on the 25th of November, 2023. For me to stay back and look and watch, because I know they were not ready to do what the obedient movement was preaching. I know they were not ready to bow down to the obedient movement, because they always say they lay the bed that the obedient movement came coming in to come and lay on it. That was what I was told in their party office. There are so many other issues that as a politician I'll just allow you to sleep like a sleeping dog. But let's leave it like that. Like I said, Labour Party is not part of this contest in Edo State. It's between PDP and APC does not have a chance.
A lot of, okay, so you're saying, or you have actually made PDP the winner of the contest, but a lot of people disagree with you based on the facts that they have. You have just spoken based on the facts that you have, and so we will. I want to give room for questions. There's so many people who want to ask questions who are actually on this live. I want to ask questions, so I want to give room for those questions right now. So those who want to ask questions should just help us by unmuting, so that we can actually permit them to ask their question. Okay, I think Mr. Egbe is here to ask the question. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Elvis. Mine is not really much of a question. My commentary based on what I've just heard from Benjamin is on my own. The obedient is just an ideology built on one man called His Excellency Peter Obi that has no concrete structure. Most of the thing he's saying is absolutely correct. But unfortunately, PDP, APC, Labour Party, they are all the same thing. And if Peter Obi is stuck in the Labour Party, and you are hoping that you are going to use Peter Obi to change the aspirations and good fortune of Nigeria in the future, it will never happen. That's one. Two, politics, like he said, is very deep in Nigeria. I tell people I'm not a politician and I don't intend to be a politician in Nigeria, but you need three things to be a successful politician in Nigeria, and I will tell you what those three things are. You need money, you need thugs, and voodoo. It might sound funny to people, but it's not funny. You have to be occultically involved in the spirit of darkness to be a highly successful politician in Nigeria. Peter Obi had just two, I would say, well, let me give him 1.5 of those, because you can claim that the obedient were like 1/4 thugs, but they are really not thugs because they are very educated. All he had was money and good character. And even good character is not part of the equation when you want to be a politician in Nigeria. So why I'm saying this is this, that if we intend as educated people to make any change in that country, Mr. Benjamin should please stop thinking in terms of APC and PDP, because it's never going to happen. The political class in Nigeria today are a bunch of thieves. Quote me anywhere. They took this power by chance because Babangida gave them the chance. And they are not, I underline, they are not going to give it up without a fight. And the fight is either going to be an organic revolution or probably a natural disaster that is going to cause it and let everything go to ash. But the way it is, these people are ready to steal that country to death. They don't care. So I don't know how Peter Obi is going to win that election and change Nigeria when he has no party behind him, because Labour Party is not a party as far as I'm concerned. The only thing we have going is that he is still out there, he's still making headway. If for any reason he's able to reorganize the Labour Party, make them, first of all, change their constitution, because that thing they call constitution is nothing like a constitution, where Abure will be the one to call a meeting where he's going to be impeached. It's like telling Anini, you know Anini, the arm robber, I keep saying it everywhere. Anini, please, can you constitute the tribunal that will condemn you to death? And you think that constitution, that tribunal will ever be constituted? Never. And that is what people are fighting. And then I ask myself the question as an educated man, who in their right senses approved that constitution? So without a party, how do we get P2B to do the things he ought to do for Nigeria to move it forward? Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Pastor Lawrence. Pastor Lawrence. Pastor Lawrence. Lawrence not coming up. Would you want to react to that quickly, sir? I want to take like 2, and let you react.
Let me just react a little bit so that I won't forget. He made a very salient point, and his points are very, very valid. Peter Obi is the movement, and wherever he goes today, he will excel. It's like a product that does not need an advertisement. Wherever that product goes, anybody that goes to the market knows that product. You know what you want and you buy it. So that is who Peter Obi is. So if Peter Obi decides to form another political party today, and that party will still win an election, within the space of 9 months, we're able to win an election in Nigeria. With him, I don't say party. I no longer use that because as it stands today, Labour Party, I don't think Labour Party is going to recover from this power tussle where they find themselves. He's totally right. The constitution where they stand upon today is not a constitution, it's a mere book written by somebody, and that person is trying to defend it. You cannot be a judge in your own case. So that is what is happening today. So I will tell Mr. Egbe that I just spoke, I believe is my brother because I said that name is an Edo name. I want to say, sir, do not lose hope on a new Nigeria. Do not lose hope on a beautiful Nigerian where all of us can return back home with our family, where the Western world will be able to go to holiday in Nigeria too, where we will no longer be going to another country to source for funds to feed ourselves, where we actually have an arable lands where we can farm and feed the world. Do not lose the hope. There are other countries that were even worse than us. But I believe with this solid foundation that Peter Obi has laid, with this solid foundation that Peter Obi has put in place, it will take us far. And if we are truthful to ourselves, we are loyal to Peter Obi, we are very optimistic that this thing will happen. There is nothing that is not possible. There are so many of us that become who we are today, that things that we never think that was going to be possible, but we just kept pursuing it, we just kept doing it. Peter Obi never knew that the movement that he created today would be so elaborate. It was just like something, let me give it a try. But today, people saw the good in him. For somebody to come out in Nigeria, for a politician to come out in Nigeria to tell you, if you have found anything corruption close to me, not even directly to me directly, call me, I will step down. If you have found the land in Abuja associated to my name, until today, APC have done whatever they want to do during the presidential election. PDP have also done their own, move here and there. They didn't see anything. Even the PDP know that this guy is just too holy for us to let him go. You understand? So if Peter Obi of that person of that nature of Peter Obi, we have him, I think we should all be able to wake up in the morning and tell God, thank you, that we have a politician in Nigeria that is able to stand up and tell you, I am not a thief. If you said I'm a thief, go and prove me. And if you find me guilty, that I will step down and we can even call for his arrest. During the presidential election, everybody know what plays out. So I want you to be rest assured, sir. Do not lose hope. All hope is not lost. That is one thing the psychological counselors normally say. They will tell you, you are only bent, but you are not broken. Nigerian is only bent, but it's not broken.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Someone is okay, Mr. Igbe, you're still raising your hand. Do you still want to say something, sir?
Yeah, the only thing I would like to just round up with Benjamin is this, that P2B is almost like a saint in probably the Catholic Church where I belong to. They are very rare to find. It is not something you walk onto the streets and start looking for them, no. That man is a very rare character. Before I decided to support him from the United States here with all my friends and everybody, I did an intensive research on him. He's not an angel, oh, don't get me wrong. But I give him 90% where I give all the other people 10%. So then I asked myself the question, how many Nigerians are like P2B? There are very few. They can come up with glorious elation. They are very oratory in nature. They can speak to mountains to come down. But as soon as they get into power, they become corrupted by power, either through those who put them in power or by themselves. Because that is where my fear is. P2B cannot do this thing alone. Okay, we've counted them. Okay, now I usually give them the benefit of doubt. I said, okay, look, you say, Martin, you generalize too much. I said, okay, let's count them. Then I start counting. Then I lost count. Then I said, okay, I'll give them 15,000. 15,000 out of 250 million is nothing, statistically. And they are not even up to that. Obaseki that he just mentioned, before he became governor, he was talking like a saint. Where is he today? And that is why I'm telling them about His Excellency Oti. He's doing an excellent job. But stop praising these people until you see the accountability to the end. I posted something on some of the social media platforms yesterday. And probably people here should just know, just Google it, the wonders of China. I know we are not big as China, but why do we always fall prey to, oh, somebody tied 1 kilometer road, they gather the whole chiefs. In China, I was looking at a road, 2,000 kilometers. They didn't gather anybody. Build the road, let it be used. But Nigerians are full of sycophantic patriots, I'm sorry to say. They pretend to be patriots, they're just sycophants, begging for crumbs to drop down from the table of higher politicians. And before I go, please, let me just say something that Showore said that makes me, draw back a little bit about Nigeria. That Nigerians aspire to be like their oppressors so that they can oppress other people. And that is why, if you look at it, these things is going to change, but it never changes. So please, if P2B, if anybody has access to him, tell him to form his own political party as quickly as possible, period. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Igbe. Your messages were steep, and I believe people who matters in the obedient movement who have access to Peter Obi, they are here listening to you. And I believe this message will also go a very long way, which he himself will be able to hear your own opinion. I'm of the opinion, I'm kind of a little bit in support of what you're saying, but I believe that Peter Obi has his own method of operation. He has his own agenda. He has his own plans. He's an experienced politician, and he has been in the game for a very, very long time to know how the water flows and how the politics in Nigeria goes. So he has a tremendous experience, I can say. Thank you, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. I really appreciate your time. But in rounding up, if you were to lead the obedient movement in Edo State today, or if you were to advise this movement, what would your advice be ahead of the 2024 Guba election in Edo State? If you were to advise the movement, what would your advice be?
The ones that are close to me, the ones that I can trust, the ones that I have trusted, I've been able to tell them before I even called them when I stepped down from the race, I reached out to some of them. They told me if they were in my position, they would also do the same thing. We understand you, my dear brother. You are doing the right thing. But where are we heading to? I asked them to wait till after the primaries. So after the primaries, I was able to reach out to some. We had our meetings, and I didn't suggest any candidate to them. They were the one that said, I put it there, I say, these are the 3 candidates that we have. Who are you guys standing with? They said, somebody stood up and said, I am not going to say this because it's from the favored zone. I'm going to say this because it's most competent. So that's the reason why most people who I know, like I said from the beginning, politics is a game of numbers. We have the obedient who are online, who are screamers. We are online, we're just screaming, this, that. And there are also some of them who are screaming online at the same time, putting their money where their mouth is. And there are also some of them who are just following the movement, just for following sake, but they are never part of the movement. We also know them. We know all of them. So at this time, like I said, obedient movement has this ideology that will support those we think they are qualified, outside Peter Obi. And like I said, I am supporting somebody from another political party now who is not from Labour Party, which is Dr. Aswe Ihodalo. He's a doctor. So when I put that forward, you also look at, why am I doing this? What about if Peter Obi decides, say, okay, if Peter Obi was on the ballot, I wouldn't have asked myself if that is the right thing to do or that is not the right thing to do, because I believe in loyalty. But as long as it's not on the ballot, and the issues in the Edo State has been a very critical one that need a critical answer and a critical solution to. People, even the Edo South are saying, let this ticket go to the Edo Central. That was what happened in the Labour Party. But Labour Party decided to go other way around.
Sorry to cut you, sir. Mr. Femi Lawal wants to ask a question, I guess.
Go on, sir.
Somebody's mic is
Mr. Abiodun, mic is on. Please, can you off it? Mr. Abiodun, please. The host can mute him.
Yes, I'm trying to do that. Okay,
Mr. Femi, please go on.
I'm not the host.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for giving me the chance, and good evening to all you guys. Good evening, Benjamin. And basically, I've been listening and quite impressed, which I do agree with everything Benjamin has said and everything our dear brother also mentioned. And I want people to realize one thing also. Obedient Movement is not a political party. If you want to align Obedient Movement to anything, you best to even align it with what it is right now, what it has evolved into, which is COPEM, than anything else. EO told us during the election, everything it does, go and verify. Obedient Movement will vote for competent Nigerians, irregardless of party. If you say you want to step up and serve, and I use the word serve, not lead, serve the people, then bring your resume and we will go and verify. This is the game now for the future of Nigeria, for the future of the next generations and our unborn kids. So this is where we stand. The Obedient Movement is here to stay. PO has done that. He has managed to do that. We won the election and we will win more until we save Nigeria. So basically, that's what I have to say. Benjamin, whatever you decide to do, I'm with you. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your support. And you have been my day one supporter. You have been my big brother that I've always looked up to. I've always, based on your experience, you have been in the political atmosphere long enough for me to seek your advice, and your advice has been very, very helpful. I also want to say thank you, sir, for being on my side. Thank you, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Oh, so many hands are up, actually. Comrade Buhari Yerima Bella, please. Comrade Buhari Yerima Bella. Can you hear me? Okay, there is somebody else whose hand is up. Christiana Oche. Is your chair? So, Christiana Oche, I guess. You want to ask your question? Due process.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Sorry for, my name is Akko Christian, not Christiana.
Hello.
And I want to ask the host a question. We all understand how political parties in Nigeria have been faring since 1999. And we all saw the antecedents of the PDP, the APC, and the receipts are all over for us to confirm and verify. I don't have a problem with supporting other candidates from other political parties. But in a situation where we keep empowering the two monsters to continue, are we doing ourselves any good? That is just the salient observation I want to make, because the PDP as it is in power, and although most of us are not in the States, but from all indication, they are not carrying out the will of the people. And
For the protection.
are we now to turn to APC? APC, of course, is a no-go area because they are known for what they stand for. So even though we all have our reasons to be objective against certain candidates emerging in certain political party, but I want to ask Benjamin himself, if he had emerged as the gubernatorial candidate, and will he be saying this to himself? That is what I want to ask. Because we've all been in this ride of LP, top to bottom and stuff like that, even though certain events that are coming up lately have given us reason to disagree. But in terms of EDO, being that it has been established before this whole rancor, I'm still of the opinion of LP. And it's better we have a leader that we can query than a leader that has a godfather to listen to instead of the people. That is just my humble submission. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mayor, before you respond to that, I hope you got the questions clear. Yeah. He's asking if it is okay for us to keep empowering the monsters. In this case, the political parties that we have known that have actually impoverished the country over the years, the PDP and the APC, if it is okay, in your opinion, to keep empowering those political parties because of the differences that we have. Then the other question he asks is, if you were in this race, if you were the candidate, would you say this against yourself?
Should I answer, or is there any other question coming up again?
No, you have to answer.
Yes. Hello.
Go ahead, please.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, please answer that. Then we can come back to you, ma'am.
The reason why I'm not on the ways today is because of what I'm saying. Because I saw it coming. Like I said, politics is very deep. The more you look is the less you see. Politics is very, very, very deep that if you don't understand it, you don't know how to play it, you will sink along and you just fizzle out. The reason why I'm not in the race today is because of what is happening in the Labour Party today. Because I know that people were already ready to jump the bar to Labour Party. So after 2 weeks after the court process in Labour Party, and Peter Obi was not installed, or rather inaugurated as the president of Nigeria, was not returned by the judiciary. We saw some people who were in PDP, who fought and worked against Peter Obi coming into the party. I know that was going to be a problem. And these people never had good antecedent. They never had good pedigree for somebody to come out and say, okay, let us support them. They were never. That was one thing. That is the reason why I am not in the race today, because I know that Labour Party was going to have a bigger problem that they cannot even solve before the gubernatorial election in Edo State. So there was no need of me wasting my money to feed, or rather, wasting my money in an election when I know that I will not win the primaries. That is for that. When you say monsters, I wouldn't want to agree with you on that, sir, Mr. Christian. I wouldn't want to agree with you on that. Your name is a due process. Every human being has his own. I am not working in Obasanjo's administration. Yeah, I campaigned for him in second term. And I have a reason why I campaigned for him. If you understand those of us who are from Edo State, you know that we do not take intimidation as an answer. Intimidation is not part of our life. We are not cowards. That's the reason why I campaigned for Obaseki. And in his first tenure, I have reason to say this is the reason why I'm campaigning for him. And this is the reason why I'm voting for him, which I did. Even at this very moment, there are still tangible projects in the state that somebody can still look up to and said, okay, he tried or he did not try. I'm not defending him. I am not working for him. I am not a member of PDP. The only thing I think that Obaseki lacks is that he doesn't have a good PRO in his government. The ones he have, they are noisemaker on Facebook, asking people to send in stars. They are not promoting the good job that he's doing, or rather that he has done. People think that he's not working. But like I said, and one of my brothers said, Mr. Ekpe, I do not praise politicians while they are in office until they leave. And I am of this opinion that the citizens of Nigeria, or rather in Edo State or anywhere in the country, shouldn't be praising their elected leaders, governors, senators, House of Rep, National Assembly members, and the rest of them. They shouldn't be praising them because these people were elected to work for the people, just like the way we are seeing here in the Western world. In New York, where I had a conference some months ago, the senator, or rather the House of Rep or something from the House of Representatives, they visited the particular place, and he said he just came to tell the people thank you. And the people start asking him questions. Why have you not moved a motion for this? Why have you not moved a motion for that? And at the end of the day, the man was able to explain. You understand? So not the people thanking him that he came to give them a handshake. I am not going to start going back and forth. When you say monsters and monsters, the person that is contesting today, have you seen him before in Labour Party? Have you seen, which political office has he ever has he held before? What are his antecedents? These are the questions we should continue to ask ourselves. You understand? So we shouldn't just say because of political parties and all that and all that. Like I said from the beginning, Dr. Alex Oti is not working today because he's from Labour Party. He's working because he's competent. Who want to work, we work, not because he's from any party. Who want to work, we work. He's in first term. Let's look at second term. Even when he comes out on the office, he said it the other day, he is a billionaire. The children are billionaire. His wife is a billionaire. So he doesn't need the state money. That is a leader that is ready to work. So I believe that when Dr. Asue Ighodalo also took over the mantles of takes over the mantle of the leadership of Edo State, you can see that he's already closer to the people. He's accessible. If Dr. Asue have not reached out to you, and I have your number, tell me, in less than 2 days, Dr. Asue will talk to you live and direct. That is to tell you how closer to the people he is. I've seen that. I've seen him doing that. He has crashed into spaces that he was not even invited. People were accusing him. Somebody was accusing him on space, telling all sorts of frivolous lies. But the man came forward and picked up the mic and he corrected the girl and said, that is not what you're supposed to say. That is not true. Get your fact correctly before you come and accuse him. He didn't come there and start chanting and all that. He's closer to the people. That is what the people need. Somebody who understands the problem of the people, somebody who have the idea and solution to the people, not a cosmetic solution. That is the reason why I'm supporting who is competent. That is why I'm supporting who is educated.
I may have to cut you there. I think I'll be taking just, I know due process has a follow-up question, but before then, Ruang Pam Jr. has his hand up. So would you please speak before I'll give due process the opportunity to do a follow-up?
Thank you very much, my moderator, Mr. Elvis Brown. You're doing a great job. And Mr. Benjamin, nice meeting you, and thanks for the compliments you have for them.
Thank you very much, sir. You're doing very perfectly.
Thank you. You're right. By statistics, in 2019, Labour Party was number 64 in the ranking in terms of votes and followership. By 2023, arguably, Labour Party came up tops, which is a big transition. So yes, that was due to the obedient movement. And I believe that the obedient movement is a mindset of people who believe that Nigeria can be better if we have the right people in the right places. Is there then a difference between competence and accountability? Because right now in Edo, there are 3 people coming up, 3 parties strongly, and you've said, okay, the person you're vouching for is competent. Can the obedient movement hold him accountable? That's just my question.
Sir, like I said before, the obedient movement is not a political party in Edo State, in Nigeria. As long as it's not campaigning under obedient movement, I will be able to tell you that the obedient will not be playing any role. The word obedient will not be playing any role in the Edo State election. They will not be part of the factors that will determine the winners of the election. That being said, like I said, I have never supported a candidate before that later turned to become a rotten egg in my own life, because I always look at people's profile, antecedent what they have done before saying this is what I want to do, this is who I want to support. The person I am supporting, Dr. Asue Ighodalo, is somebody that I have seen, that I have known for a very long time. And even his younger brother, Pastor Itwa Ighodalo, was with us during the obedient movement. People don't know that is the younger brother to Pastor Dr. Ighodalo himself. He has been with us. Even when we started the diaspora movement, he was the one that organized. I can say he was the one that drew the connection for Frankfurt visit when I received Peter Obi in Frankfurt. So if somebody asks you if we obedient will be able to hold Dr. Asue Ighodalo responsible or call him to order when something is happening, a man who is online 247 commenting on issue and saying that should be done, correct that, not correct that, he hears what you say. And I wish I know I should have been able to call somebody so that we'll put him online. He can join this Zoom live and crash his space. You will hear him speak. He's not somebody like that. I can vouch for him. This conversation is being recorded. Take it home. Keep it. If I'm in the position to say you can sue me with it, you can go ahead and do it if he doesn't respond. And I am telling you that this man is not somebody that you would think that is not going to be accountable. It's like you have not even seen his profile. If I'm opportune, I'm going to get his, I already have his profile in my system. I will send it to you tonight so that you go through it. It took me 2 weeks to start reading his profile. So this is not somebody you say he has been in the system for a very long time in the public sector and the private sector. He has never one day been associated with corruption or misappropriation of funds, these are the two major qualities that is needed for a political person.
Let's take the campaign slow, Mr. Mayor.
No, I'm not campaigning for anybody. Campaign has started.
Let me hear from.
I'm not an online campaigner. When the campaign starts, you know me, I will be on the ground. I do not campaign online. I am not an online screamer. I do not scream online.
Okay. All right. So let's hear from due process. Is follow-up question.
Hello. Please let me ask a question.
Please let me ask my follow-up question, please.
Yerima, I'll call you.
Mr. Benjamin,
yes,
you've downplayed the significance of the obedient movement in deciding leadership in Edo State. Let that be on record, please. That you, having been an obedient from Edo State, have downplayed the significance, the role that obedience can play in who becomes the governor of Edo State.
I did not, sir. I did not. Wait, I'm not trying to cut you. Let me interject, sir. Let me interject.
What you said.
I did not downplay. What I said.
They have no say on who becomes.
The question he asked, let me rephrase it for you. The question he asked, will the obedient movement be playing a role in electing, or rather, who becomes the governor of Edo State, which he was directing the question to the Labour Party, because somebody who is standing there as a candidate. That's the reason why I tells you, and that's the reason why I was telling you that the obedient movement in Edo State is not the Labour Party members. So we are caught, the obedient movement is caught across every political party in Edo State, especially PDP and APC. So these are the people that voted for Peter Obi during the presidential election. That is why I'm telling you that will not be playing any major role, because this is the state election, not the presidential election.
You have repeated it.
That's the truth.
All right. Please let us take it slow here. Let's take it slow. Thank you very much. Due process. Somebody has been wanting to speak. That's Yerima, if I'm correct.
Yes. I want to exhaust my question so that you can go.
Okay. So
my question goes to Mr. Benjamin Mayo, please. And absolutely, now in Edo State, we have a candidate, Barrister Olumide is contesting for the governorship in Edo State. So we just want to know what his position in this election. I heard that he's saying that our obedient movement has been divided into two. Some are in APC, others are in Labour Party. So I think this is a very serious issue. This is a very dangerous issue. What we are expecting as a leader, he himself, Mr. Benjamin, he should work as much as he can to make sure that he bring all the obedient member into one group to make sure that the Labour Party has won the governorship candidate in the state. So we just want to know what is his position in this governorship election.
Mr. Comrade Buhari, thank you for your question.
Before you respond, Mr. Mayor, I think let's be clear, Yerima, that Mr. Mayor is not supporting the candidate of the Labour Party. And so that I understand your position, but I think he will respond to that. So just for you to know that he's supporting another candidate, and that's why he's taking that position. So you can respond, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Mr. Comrade, let me respond like this. Obedient movement does not have a manual. We do not have a constitution that wrote it somewhere that we Obedient should support every candidate that comes out from Labour Party. There is no manual that guides us. Peter Obi did not give us any manual to say this is the manual for obedience or the handbook for obedience. Before you make any law, before you make any move, before you make any political decision, go through this manual before you make any decision. No. What we have in obedient movement is reputable leaders that we are looking up to. That if any of those reputable leaders come on the stage tomorrow, we will say this is what we will do, and we will stand by it. And I named them before, and I can repeat again for you to hear. Peter Obi is the head of obedient movement. Whatever he says today, we believe that. But in regarding his aspiration, another second person I should look up to is Mr. Valentine Ozigu. He has been with us from the beginning. He has been 100% obedient, and he has been an obedient, and he still remains an obedient. Professor Patuto, Mr. Oselo Kaubaze, Miss Aisha Yusuf, so many others that we know that we can vouch for. Me personally, if those people are coming forward to say, okay, they are contested, I should be able to say, okay, let's bring the obedient movement together to say, okay, let's do this. But another thing, my dear brother, you are from the northern part of the country. Edo State election is a very critical one. Let me explain to you deeper sense. We have 3 senatorial districts, Edo South, Edo North, and Edo Central. Since 1999, we have had a governor from the Edo North, Edo South, Chief Lucky Nusaka Igbenedion, 1999 to 2007. From 2007, we have, and let me just say, another governor who came from the Edo Central, which is supposed to be the fairness, equity, and justice. But he lost the election in the court, at the Court of Appeal, to Adams Oshomole, Comrade Adams Oshomole, who came through Labour Party and became AC, from ACN to ACN, from ACN to APC. And Oshomole is from Edo North. He has done his 8 years. Constitutionally, Edo Central has never produced a governor since 1999 because Professor Osagame Osumbo's election was null and void. Then when Oshomole finished, he handed over to Godwin Obaseki, who is from the Edo South. Edo Central is missing. Who is from the Edo South? And Edo South, Governor Obaseki now is rounding up. And when Lucky Benedion was a governor, he had a deputy from the Edo North. When Oshomole was a governor, he had the deputy from Edo South. Are you getting it right now? And now we have Obaseki. Obaseki have a deputy from Edo North. Since 1999, Edo Central has never stepped their foot in Osadebe Avenue as a governor of the state. These 3 major senatorial districts have come together. The Obas, the Enijes, we have only one Oba in Edo State, don't misquote me. The Oba of Benin, Oba Atokbere, said, we have the traditional rulers, the political juggernaut and the political Irokos in Edo South, in Edo North, have come together to say, what is fair is fair. If you want to go to equity, you must go to equity with a clean hands. This ticket must go to Edo South. That being said, every political party now pointed their political searchlight towards Edo Central. You know what happens in APC? When they used their normal style to bring out a candidate from Edo South, and they later change it and give it to somebody from the Edo Central. Do you think that this political party don't know what they're doing? Or they don't know how to play the game? But we now ask Labour Party. Obedient movement, we came together in Edo State. We said, please, let's look for somebody that is competent in this area in Labour Party and give that person this ticket. I am telling you, I have never go back on my word. If they have given somebody from Edo Central, there is no way me will cross boundary and start supporting somebody. It will not be possible. Because the reason why I'm supporting somebody who is competent at the moment is because for equity, fairness, and justice, coupled with competence and character and compaction.
Thank you very much, sir.
PDP now went to Edo Central. APC now went to Edo Central. But Labour Party, what did they now do? They went to the same local government where Obaseki came out from and pick a candidate. Is it an hereditary? It's not like that. Politics are not played that way. That's the reason why most of us in the obedient movement are saying what is right, what is wrong is wrong.
That's your sentiment, Mr. Mayor, your sentiment on this matter. And honestly, I respect that. I'll ask you one last question. I want to give room to Mr. Emmanuel Chukuma to ask his question before I ask you one final question. Mr. Emmanuel Chukuma, this will be the last question I'll be taking so that we can round up. We're supposed to end this by 9:45, and we don't want to exceed that. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel Chukuma.
Thank you. So sorry I joined so late. I got the information and I joined. So I've been listening to Mr. Benjamin and his rhetorics of equity, fairness, and all that, and competence and capacity and all that that he's been talking about. Now, it is very clear that this came up because you lost out you decided to step down, one, and it is very clear that the question of equity and all that you are talking about, Labour Party in Edo State, just we can say just started. So if we are talking about equity and all that rotational participant in the governance, we should give Labour Party their own time. PDP has been there for years. They never talked about it. APC has been there for years. They have not talked about it. Now, they now know that we have a competent person in Labour Party, and they are throwing in this idea of competence and capacity. I thought the present governor had capacity and competence before he came in. Today, we are not seeing that capacity. How are we going to build support for PO? That's my question. How are we going to build support for PO if we keep voting for other parties who maybe during the election may not even allow PO to have a stadium to campaign in their state? How is it possible? Why are we even discussing about this on an obedient platform? That's my question. Thank you.
Mr. Emmanuel Chukuma, thank you for your question. God bless you for joining us on this program today. You ask a very, very vital question and a very good one as that. Before I go on, I want to remind you that Peter Obi won Edo State when Governor Obaseki from PDP was the governor of Edo State. He won at the Edo State with a landslide. You made citation of stadium not being used. I reached out to Governor Obaseki when the stadium was not allowed to be used. And there was some political rigmarole and political here and there that played out. We understand. But are you actually aware that Obaseki not giving Peter Obi the stadium to use actually gave Peter Obi the popularity he has today in Edo State? You don't know. So I am telling you, you have to be deep-rooted in politics before you be able to know what is actually happening. Forget what plays out in the camera. Obaseki and Peter Obi, they are best of friends. They are close best of friends. You see them in functions. Peter Obi does not have an enemy as far as I'm concerned today. Peter Obi is not angry that...
Even with Tinubu, Peter Obi is friends with Tinubu. Peter Obi is not an enemy.
I'm coming, sir. I'm coming, sir. You ask a question. I'm coming, sir. You ask a question. I'm coming, sir. You ask a question. Nobody is an enemy to Peter Obi. And he's a politician that understands that in politics, you don't build an enemy. In politics, you don't build an enemy. What you build is that you build friendship. And we should not allow our political choices and our political stand to bring division between ourselves. Like me, I have a future that I'm building. Because you are from another party, I will not make you as my enemy because I might need you tomorrow. That is how politics works. You ask, how will Peter Obi have a base in 2027 or in the subsequent election if we begin to vote as a Labour Party, as a obedient member begin to vote for another candidate? It is crystal clear like the biblical teke mene yufasi. Peter Obi did not win Edo State because Labour Party was a governor. Labour Party have a governor in Edo State. Peter Obi won Edo State because the people of Edo State decided to vote for who is competent, decided to vote for who has that character, who has that compassion towards the people of Nigeria. And secondly, and it was from the most favored region who has been marginalized for a very long time. That is what we campaigned on. And that is the reason why everybody, you are not from Edo State. I am telling you, no, you are not from Edo State. I am telling you what happened in Edo State. That's the reason why everybody in Edo State across party, not just Labour Party members, voted for Peter Obi. We did that because Peter Obi was competent. He was able to come out and say, if you have anything on me, bring it out and I will step down from the race. And nobody could do that. These are the three major things that played out in Edo election. The governor of Edo State does not have influence on the Edo people. That is who we are on voting when it comes to voting right. Not using the stadium does not stop Peter Obi of holding the rally. Peter Obi is a Nigerian citizen. He has a right to travel anywhere in Nigeria, any country, and reside and decide to build his own house. He doesn't need a visa to come to Edo State. As long as some of us who have decided not to renounce our loyalty for Peter Obi, who have decided not to go, who have decided to go extra length to support Peter Obi when he comes on board again, I'm also assuring you that the governor of Edo State, by the grace of God, the next governor of Edo State, Dr. Ighodalo, will not also influence the decision of the Edo voters. Do you know why it happens? Do you know why it's like that? Because we Edo people are the most electorally educated in Nigeria. We do not vote based on parties. We vote based on competence, character, and compassion. You ask a question, if Obaseki was not competent. That's the reason why one of my dear brother, Mr. Egbe, said we shouldn't be praising politicians while they are still in the office until they leave, until they are finishing, if they are finishing very well. In my own opinion, Obaseki did not satisfy my it did not work to my satisfaction. I continue to say, but Obaseki is not going to be on the ballot. I am not campaigning for Obaseki. Who I'm campaigning for, who I'm supporting is Dr. Asue Ighodalo, because I know who he is. The reason why I campaigned for Obaseki for the second tenure because of what he did in the first tenure. I am not a seer. I cannot see somebody's future. But I am telling you now that what I have seen so far, what I have seen that Dr. Asue has done and what he's doing, that he is more capable than every other 70 candidate that is lining up behind him. And even before the election, you will see the kind of politics that will be that you are going to be seeing in Edo State. It doesn't mean that if Labour Party have never had the opportunity to become a governor and all that, what is fair is fair. Edo people does not look at party. They does not know what party has suffered in the last 10 to 5 years. Edo people does not look at if Labour Party is just coming yesterday, they also want to have a taste and share for the national cake. What Edo people are looking at is the person that will come and alleviate the poverty of Edo people, who is going to work on infrastructure, who's going to bring development into the state, investment. Not just investment, don't just come and make production and leave. Somebody that will come and reduce the unemployment in Edo State. And that is what Edo people are looking at. That's the reason why I tell you, when Obaseki, we are just talking about Obaseki. Obaseki left APC to PDP. Let me analyze it from that point.
Unfortunately, sir, we not have time. We not have enough time.
I believe Mr. Manda have answered you. It is not a matter of who is in power, who is not in power.
So much,
I want to give you my word. I want to assure you. When Peter Obi jumps on the ballot, if Peter Obi make his announcement in 2025 or 2026 to say, I am running for presidency and I'm making this live, If I do not take it as my personal matter the way I took it before, you can decide to sue me to court and take this video and you will win.
There is something you said that
Thank
I'm
you so
not
much,
happy
sir.
with. There
Now,
is something you are saying.
I want
Can I just say a word to him? Just a word.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I've heard you
Yeah, out
about,
of time.
you are not the people that shout online. You are not the people that, you give this impression. There are people that shout online. And we have heard this thing from PDP. We have heard this from APC that obedient movement, all we make noises online. And I'm surprised you.
No, not like that. No, you miss one part. You miss one part. You miss one part. You miss one part. There is a connecting part before that word, and I will repeat it here again. No, you were listening. Maybe you missed that part.
Let's round this up. Let's round this off.
No. Let's round up. Let me clear him on this side. Let me 1 minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. Let me clear so that they won't, so that you will be able to go to bed satisfied. When I said there are screamers, there are wailers online, I did not even use screamers. In every group, there are people that are just part of the group, but they never fit in. Elections are not won on social media. The reason why obedient movement is what it is today is that some of us were online screaming, shouting, but we were on ground also walking. My grandmother is not on social media. My father is not on social media. They does not know what is happening. So me that is shouting on social media, that is saying Peter Obi is competent, it is the same me that took the message to my father in his palace to tell him, Epa, this man is winning.
I disagree with you.
No, my mother is not on social media.
I said I disagree with you.
Let's handle
on social media also. Your mother mustn't be on social media. There are people on social media.
That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Emmanuel,
let's go back to the
mustn't be
grassroots.
on social media. There are people on social
Mr.
media.
Emmanuel, we must not agree. Politics is like politics is like we disagree to agree. We are rounding up. We disagree to agree. And I'm going to call you personally and talk to you, Mr. Emmanuel.
Please, on Saturday, this is not a one-time event. This series is continuing.
No problem.
Yeah, on Saturday we'll be having guests on the show again at the same time, and so I believe the publicity is going to be hotter than it was this past week, and so we're going to have lots of people coming on, and I will appeal to the organizers that we actually push this up to maybe 2 hours, so that we can use 1 hour to discuss and give 1 hour for questions and answer, because it's very, very important. We can't exhaust all the questions right now. All right. So I want to invite
you can invite me anytime, any day. I'm always available. I'm a member of COPDEM, like I told you. As of today, I don't have any party. I'm a member of COPDEM. And COPDEM is one of the organizations that put all the obedient group together. So anyone that is telling you that is not part of the obedient movement, obedient stem is dying, you can totally forget about that.
Thank you so much, sir. I want to appreciate everyone that took out time to be here with us tonight. Your time is highly precious, and we appreciate it. Next weekend is another episode. I want you to plan for it. Hello. Prepare your questions. We're going to release the title or the theme for next weekend. Is going to be released, I'm sure, before that time. You can prepare your questions. Somebody is saying something.
Hello, yes, Michael, please, I want to say something, please.
Please.
Absolutely, the truth is that Mr. Benjamin Mayo, I can advise you, it will be a very disgraceful if, as an obedient member, you did not support Labour Party candidates. It will be a very big...
Is obedient movement a cult group?
No, it's not. It's not a call group, but absolutely.
So why did you use the word? Why will you say disgrace?
Mr. Yerima. No, Mr. Mayor, please. Mr. Yerima.
I'm coming.
No, we are qualified. Let me say something like that. Mr. Mayor resigned his membership of the Labour Party.
I'm coming.
I am not a member of Labour Party. Why should I support Labour Party?
We need to end this here right now. Mr. Mayor.
You are not a member, but you are part of us. You are part of us. We all believe that each of every person that have been brought by the Labour Party is a very good candidate and is going
we have to end this year, all right? Mr. Mayor.
All right, thanks, sir.
On a parting note, Mr. Mayor,
Please,
can you trust the two
Elvis, just
political
one
parties,
30
and
seconds,
PDP,
please. Just 30 seconds.
yes or no? Just
Every
yes or no?
member, every obedient is not a member of any political party. They have the right to join whatever political party they have to join. So let Mr. Yerima understand that. And you don't have to support somebody because it's in the Labour Party. Abure himself, if Abure runs an election today, will you support him? No, he will lose.
Mr. Martin, we have to close.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Yes
Thank
or
you.
no?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, bye, ciao.
Thank you all.
Elvis, are you there?
Elvis is gone. Okay, thank you everyone for your time this evening. Like the anchor man said, we'll be having another section same time next week. We appreciate your presence and we hope that you'll be with us in the next edition. Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is real fireworks. Very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a pleasant night rest. See you on Saturday.